this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jay Dobyns. What's up, Jay?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me, Staxx.
Yeah, no problem, man. This is a pretty big anticipated interview. A lot of my fans wanted to see this, and you have a lot of fans out there, even though sometimes people, are rubbed the wrong way, you can say.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, your audience is not going to be fans of me.
Some of them will be.
You know what? Maybe. But you know what? If all I do is do interviews and appear in programs where everybody loves me and everybody praises me and everybody has something nice to say about me, how easy is that? You know, I think there's more of a challenge to appear in places where people are going to criticize you and have complaints with you and try to address those and give honest answers to those people. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't expect everybody to like me. You know what? My wife doesn't like me every day. My kids don't like me every day. There's days when I don't like myself. So why would I expect everybody on the outside to love me?
Hey, I don't get love a lot either, man. Sometimes, hate comes all over the place. But you got to just keep pushing forward. So I want to know, how did you get involved to even be involved with with law enforcement? I know you had a career with football. How did it transfer into law enforcement?
Yeah, I was a pretty good college football player. I had dreams of playing professionally. I never had a plan B. I only had a plan A, which was to play professional football. And I wasn't good enough. Like, I don't make excuses. There's a lot of people athletes, who don't achieve whatever that high level goal is for themselves. And they have excuses to offer for it. Oh, I hurt my knee, I hurt my back, the coach didn't like me, all those things. Man, I don't have any excuses. I did the very best I could. I put myself in position to be who I wanted to be. And in the end, man, I just wasn't good enough, man. I can live with that because I know that I did my best to try to get there.
Yeah. So how did law enforcement even come on your radar? Like, how did it intersect with your life?
Well, it's kind of a hokey story. Talking about getting beat up. When you publish this, all the trolls on the comment side will, they'll attack this as well. So I get that, but it's the truth, right? This is the true answer. Like a lot of young people, I had a dream, and the dream was to play football, and then that dream fell apart. And well, not even young people, just all of us at any age. I was sitting there looking at myself like, now what, man? I didn't have a plan B. So this was mid-80s. And the television show Miami Vice was super popular. Right? I never had some Copland goal to live in that world. But Sonny Crockett, who driving around in that Lamborghini or Ferrari or whatever it was.
Yeah. White suit.
Tricked out. He had his pistols, under his coat with the Hugo Boss, and going to meet drug dealers, and there's tons of cocaine he's negotiating for, and he's sipping mojitos, and there's stripper models hanging on him, right? I was like, I wonder if that's real, man, because that looks pretty dang sexy to me, right? And so, as hokey as that is, that's where it started.
So did you reach out to them, or was there an ad? How did you apply?
Right. I started applying. To agencies, and I wanted to work for ATF, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which is a small agency with a pretty small jurisdiction, but they are the best federal law enforcement agency for undercover work. They really, especially at that point in time, now mid-80s, through my career, they really pushed the undercover operations. They understood the value of undercover operations, and that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't know if I'd be any good at it, but that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try it and see. I didn't know if I'd be good, but I've never been afraid to fail. I've been afraid not to try,
Yeah.
um, but I've never been afraid to fail. So I was like, let's try, man.
So you weren't ever involved in any crime or anything before this point?
You know what, dude? I was pretty squeaky clean. I was probably too square for the job, um, too straight for the job. So in order to like gaining expertise and be comfortable like in that street environment, like I had to learn that. Like I can't say that I grew up like in a rough neighborhood or had a rough childhood, um, or any of those things that would have laid the groundwork for me. Like I had to go out and study the people that were the targets of investigations in that community, and like let them train me, learn from them how to walk, how to talk, how to look, how to dress, how to drive, what to say, what not to say, all those different levels of respect that take place on the street, all the street protocols, all that gangland language and body language and all those things. Like that didn't just come natural to me. Now I had to go like learn that to survive.
Yeah, some people use their background like they grew up in a rough childhood, and they just use the background of the people they grew up around and they apply that, right?
I mean, they had a head. Those people have a head start on me. Like I grew up, like to be honest with you, like it was a white picket fence childhood for me. My folks stayed together. We never had a lot, but I always had a bike to ride. I had good parents. I wasn't in trouble any more than like just like normal kid trouble, right? Nothing over the top. Um, so if the people that, and I've worked with people like that who grew up in like really rough, uh, early youthful part of their life, they had a head start on me, man, because they understood the world, they understood the street. I had to learn it.
So how are you learning these things? Are you watching different movies and shows? Are you learning from people like around you?
Yeah, you know what I think Hollywood, the entertainment industry, I referenced Miami Vice and how that kind of caught my eye.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, the entertainment industry, um, it's counterfeit in how it portrays the world of law enforcement, how it portrays undercover work. It it glamorizes it. It makes it sexy, which is what caught my eye with Sonny Crockett, Miami Vice. The
Yeah.
reality of it is that when you decide to do that profession, you know, for a living, it's a nasty, dirty, bloody, vomit-covered world. Man, there's nothing sexy about it. There's nothing glamorous about it. It's nasty.
So when you're learning different things, what's your first case that they put you on?
Well, so I got hired on a Monday. I got sworn in on a Monday. On a Thursday, 4 days later, I got taken hostage and shot. I had a bullet. I got shot in the back, point blank. The bullet went in my back, in between my spine and my shoulder blade. It went through my lung and narrowly missed my heart. It exited my chest. It was a through and through. So 4 days on the job, right? I hadn't been trained. I hadn't done anything. 4 days, and I was bleeding to death, like in the garbage and dog shit of this trailer park, with blood coming out of my chest, like you're holding your thumb over the end of a garden hose.
Who
And
shot you?
a guy we were trying to arrest, um, like I was trying, I didn't know what I was doing, obviously, right? The suspect runs from us. I chase him down, um, and like I wasn't fast enough to play professional football. I was too slow, but I was fast as fuck as a cop, right? In cop land, I was fast. In
Yeah.
football, in professional football land, I wasn't fast enough. In cop land, man, I could fly by that standard, right? So I
Yeah.
chased this kid. He hides. make a long story short, he was hidden. I went past him and he popped up behind me and took me hostage.
Wow.
And that's like that. There's no one to blame for that. That's my fault, dude. That's a guy out there trying to get in the middle of the action who doesn't know what he's doing.
Like you shouldn't have been running after him like that, right?
Well, I should have at least been trained to like how to do like the techniques and tactics of that, which I didn't know. I was just like throwing it out there, man. I was just like, I just wanted to, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to run and chase and get in fights, and I wanted to do all that stuff that was part of it, right? And then like now 4 days later, I'm in the middle of it and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not prepared for this, man. I'm not trained for this.
Are you thinking you're gonna die when you get shot?
Dude, it was bad for a bit, man. Like I got pretty chewed up in that, so but like it was a good, man, like with every bad thing that happens to any of us, if you look hard enough, you can find the good in it, right? So that shooting and all the bad things that happened real time, a lot of good came from that. And so it's just a matter of trying to find the silver lining in the clouds sometimes.
How long was the recovery time from that shooting?
Well, when I got shot, first of all, I was young. I was like 25, 26 years old. I was in great shape. So those are two factors that, like, regardless of when you get hurt, you get sick. If you're young and if you're physically fit, you have a better chance.
Yeah.
So the recovery was like, man, I was in the hospital for a couple weeks and then, kind of chilling for a couple weeks, but I came back from that pretty quick.
So then you come back, right? And what case do they put you on? Are you eager to get back into the business? Do you have anxiety from the shooting? Like what's going on through your head when you return?
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I had my out, and so this is, damn near close to 40 years ago. Now, the decisions I made then, I'm kind of looking at them now, like, so after I got shot, there was attorneys that were lining up saying, like, dude, how much money you want? You were not trained. You were put in a position where the agency has a huge liability. They want you in this story to go away. Like, you know what $1 million looks like? Man, like I grew up in a blue collar family, man. My dad was a carpenter. My mom cleaned houses, man. We never had a whole lot, right? $1 million? I had no idea what $1 million looks like.
Yeah.
How about $5 million? They're saying, like, you tell me how much money you want, and I'll get the government to write the check. Just tell me how many zeros you want, because they put you in a bad spot, right? Like, I didn't take the job for money. I didn't take the job like no cop signs up for the job thinking that he's going to get rich or tries to get rich. They do it for other reasons, right? All I wanted was a chance to come back and see if I could do it better, do it right.
So you didn't sign the paper and get the money?
Well, at 25, money was very unimportant. Now, 40 years later, I'm like, man, I could have done a lot of things, man, if I would have taken that money and done something else, right? And probably lived a more peaceful life.
Probably.
But you know what? I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to try to make a difference. I knew that when I came on the job, I really didn't know how the job worked, but I knew that I wanted to be a guy who would stand in between predators in the community and the good and innocent people out there who just wanted to live a safe, peaceful life. Like those people, that element of society, like needs people to protect them and to defend them. And I wanted to be that guy.
Yeah. So when you return back to work, are they putting you right back in the mix? Are they like, all right, we got this case, we're going to try to put you on? How do you get pushed towards the Arizona chapter of the Hells Angels?
Well,
Or
so
the solo, right? First the solo angels.
so after the shooting, I get transferred to Chicago. Um, and a year later, I'm in another shooting, like in a running gun battle with gangbangers in Joliet, Illinois. I got shot again and got
What?
run over by a car after we did a machine gun exchange. We did a machine gun transaction, which went to shit. And I got freaking, it was in a shooting again, like a year later, right? So,
Oh,
but you know, when you're young and those things happen to you and you survive them and you come out the other side of it, you feel invincible. You know, I had a bullet go through my chest. I got run over by a fleeing vehicle during this shootout. I felt like I was invincible.
yeah, you're
I,
like,
like, I
nothing
was
could
like, man,
touch
nothing
me.
can get me, man.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna get me. But so like jumping forward into the Hells Angels investigation, that was 15 years after I came on the job. That was 15 years after those shootings, right? So in that time, I had developed, you know, some skills and some tradecraft that gave me a chance, right? I've been buying guns on the street, everything from Saturday Night Special, like rusted shut revolvers, to shoulder launched rockets, right? I've been buying narcotics, everything from dime bags to cartel level built. I bought pipe bombs from homemade PVC glued together pipe bombs to servo activated remote control C4 IED. I've been involved in like home invasion infiltrations. I played a hitman in murder for hire schemes. So over the course of those 15 years, when the opportunity came to take a shot at this biker investigation, I wasn't that kid that got hired and got shot his first week on the job. Like I had learned the tradecraft and the expertise that gave me a chance to survive in that environment.
Yeah, so you got this kind of see what the underworld is all about, and you can apply some of the things you learned throughout them years
Well,
to
you know
your
what, man, I
investigation.
loved it every day of it. The good days, the bad days, the days when I succeeded, the days when I failed, the days when I got things right, the days when I got things wrong and made mistakes. Every single day, I loved my life. I loved when my alarm clock went off in the morning and I put my feet on the ground and I was having my cup of coffee and my bowl of Cheerios. I was excited to go to work every day.
Yeah, and that was around this time when this investigation was starting.
You know, every day, even the bad days, man, even the days when I failed, I was like, man, you can do better, Jay. Like, try again tomorrow. I mean, that's just the beauty of life, man. We make mistakes. We
Yeah,
screw things up. What we're
but
trying to do, any of us, what we're trying to do is not keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. Try to learn from when we get it wrong.
did you ever feel like, up to this point, did you ever feel like the organization that you're working for is not fully on your side? Are you having feelings about them at all?
No, at that point in time, like I had no inkling of that. Like I felt love and support um, and all those things that you want to feel when you're out, like taking risks, putting your life on the line, putting your personal life on hold, asking your family to support you and stand down on the things that they want from you in order to like like do the things that you think are important in life. Um, like I felt like I had everybody's support. I did have everybody's support.
Yeah,
At that point in time, man, I had all the support I needed. I had all the training I needed, all the love I needed. My partners and my peers were amazing. Um, There was no red flags at all.
Were you riding motorcycles at this point?
I could ride. Um, I could ride. I could not ride the way the guys that I was working on could ride. Like, I mean, those dudes grew up. Some of those dudes were riding motorcycles like damn near like after they learned how to walk.
Yeah.
And so some of the way they rode um, was a bit overwhelming at first because these dudes are riding, 18 inches apart, back wheel to front wheel, 80, 90 miles an hour, um, side by side, splitting traffic, splitting lanes. Um, and then you got dudes that are like riding wheelies and doing burnouts and all. Like, I couldn't do any of that stuff. I couldn't trick ride by any means.
Was there, I hate to jump forward, but was there any crashes when you were doing your investigation? Was there
I had a
anyone?
couple minor ones. I had a couple minor, like nothing that was very traumatic. I had a few minor diggers, where I took a header and had to like shake my head and say like, man, that was stupid, right?
You
Don't do that
looking
again.
around to see if anyone's
Exactly.
looking.
Now I saw some. There were some the accidents that took place around me. I saw a dude like get T-boned in an intersection and have his leg cut off, like real time, like not like his leg was damaged. His leg was separated from his body. Like a pedestrian came up holding the dude, like the lower part of this dude's shin and his foot.
Wow.
Like I, obviously never experienced anything that traumatic, but I saw it. Anybody that's seen a bad motorcycle accident will make you never want to get on a motorcycle again. I'll tell you that.
What's up, everybody? It's Bill Staxx, and I'm back. If you guys like this interview, I'm going to be starting the members only tiers. So if you guys want to join the tiers, I'm going to start them at the base price. They're going to be the absolute cheapest that they can be. And if you guys want to join, you can join and you can watch the full interviews before they get released in pieces. And I hope you guys like this interview. I have a lot more coming. Some major names are coming, guys. Stay tuned. Things are gonna get real. And remember, don't be a bitch.